now we're to what part in the interview?
The wrap up, which is the part where you're almost done, you're almost home free.
Yeah.
And although you all are almost home free, you don't want to just give up. This is actually a really crucial part of your interview.
Exactly.
It's your last chance to shine.
When you get to the wrap-up section and they say, do you have any questions for us? Have some, okay? This is one of the most important decisions you're making in your life, and it would be weird if you didn't have any questions. At this time in the interview, I usually recommend that you bend down and pick up a portfolio and open it up and say, yes, I have some questions for you. All right, so this is kind of a, having questions can be a sticky wicket because, is that one of those? You're supposed to keep
We're working on old school phrases. Arcane.
Does anybody know what a sticky wicket is?
Double-edged sword.
Mrs. Cleaver, anybody? Lawrence Welk, anybody? No? Okay, so what would be a sticky wicket?
Double-edged sword.
Oh, a double, okay, for you millennials, this is a double-edged sword, okay, like that, okay. Because if you ask questions that are so basic, I mean, information that's readily available on our website, you know, you're gonna look like a real, what, I don't want to.
Fool.
Yeah.
I don't want to be offensive either.
I was going to say fool, but I wanted to make sure that was a real rube.
You don't want to go millennial on that one. You'll get in trouble. Bleep.
Yeah, we'll have to. You'll have to. Yeah, that's true. We'd have to like. I have to do that pixel scramble over my mouth when I say it and blot it out. So okay. So back to this. Seriously, folks, when you have questions, you want to make sure that the questions are not information that everybody knows about S.C.C.O. Nor are they questions that if they're too specific, you're not even interested in the information that's going to come out after you ask the question. Because usually, if you ask a question about, like, tell us about your teacher to faculty ratio, they might even say something like, oh, well, why is that important to you? Tell us about why that would be important. And then if you say something like, I don't know, it just sounded like a good question to ask, you don't want that. So they should be intelligent questions that you're ready, that are germane to you, important to you. So if a conversation ensues, then you can talk about it. So.
Question for you. Those questions, do they have to be geared towards only S.C.C.O. in our program, or can it be optometry in general, like a current event or something that's been recent in optometric developments?
I would make them germane to the program, important to the program, because you really are at this point kind of investigating how you are fit with S.C.C.O. in this wrap up. And there are always controversial issues on the table with any profession. I mean, every profession has them. Optometry has them too. And you wouldn't want to maybe look like a rabble rouser. Is that one of those arcane references?
That's okay.
Is that okay?
It is, but it's still cute.
Okay, I like it. Okay, rabble rouser. You wouldn't want to cause. You wouldn't want to be controversial. How's that? So no, ask the question. They should be relative to you. That would be a good thing. So if it's something about optometry relative to you, you could probably ask it. But I'd stick to asking about the program, because you're running out of time by this point, and you really do, they're going to be, looking at their watch about this time and wrapping up. They might ask you too, as a final button on this whole thing, they'll ask you, is there anything about you that we didn't ask you in the interview? Anything else about you would like to get advanced in the interview? And I would also have those bullet pointed in your little portfolio that you pulled out, and just make sure they covered each one of the things that you would like them to know. And if they did, I would take this time to wrap up and tell them why you'd be such a great doctor, because of all these qualities. And remember, they're going to be writing about you after you leave. Give them something to write about. And this is a nice time in the process that right at the end, when their memory's fresh, you want to give them all those great points. So just reiterate everything again.